What's up, y'all? Hey, happy Monday. How y'all doing today? Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. Great day, good afternoon, evening, night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. Hey, y'all, what's up, y'all? Hey, 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 hey. All right, let's get into it. So, welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Seed. And today I'm waiting for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hi, collective. What do I- Flowers, flowers, flowers. Two more times. Flowers, flowers, flowers. One more time. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me in the shop in my store. All the information is in the description box below. All right, so let's get into it. Channel message here is they're confused that they overthrown themselves, okay? So we're going to be looking more into the self-sabotage of this person or group of people, however resonates in your story here, okay? But just know that you have people that's in a state, we'll just say a state of despair, or more so a state of emergency here, where where they feel like things are not going right in their life. Everything around them is crumbling, including themselves. Thank you. Everything is crumbling, including themselves here, and they're trying to figure out a way to get out of this whole tragedy, or we'll call it travesty, because it's really severe. So again, the channel message here is they're confused that they overthrown themselves. Okay. So I took the liberty of looking up the word confused and overthrown in regards to the etymology. So the etymology of the word confuse is to overthrow, ruin, disorder, confusion, shame, and it can also bring forth a disorder. So when a person's trying to confuse another person here, they're really trying to ruin what you have going on, whether it could be an emotional thing, it could be a physical thing, it could be a mental thing, it could be whatever that makes you happy, right? And when other people see that you're very happy and all in your glee, they're going to do everything possible to attempt to confuse you first. Now, think of a depiction of confused. I don't know if all you guys know what Pokemon is, but I'll just use it as an example. So, Pokemon is a cartoon with three characters: Ash, Brock, and I forget the girl's name, Star or something like that. Misty. Misty was her name. And they were on a trek to find Pokemon. Pokemon was these little, I guess, animals that was in like a little ball. And they would collect these Pokemons to get to the end of this like trek or race or whatever, like a journey. While the Pokemons are in battle, they come out of the actual ball. And some cases here, when one Pokemon is more stronger than the other one, it tends to stun that actual Pokemon. So I say all that to say here is like this group of people here, a person here, they feel very stunned by what's happening here. They feel like they are stuck in suspense, or they feel like that they can't get out of this bind. Is a very strong spiritual bind. It could be physical too, but I'm strongly feeling like a physical bind that they're currently in, and they kind of feel like they can't get out of it. It could teeter totter on the line of spiritual paralysis, and they have been having these episodes of spiritual paralysis. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain it again. It is basically when you are laying down. So while you're sleeping, sometimes your spirit may tend to roam, right? And when it roams from time to time, or when it roams every day, whatever it do, when it's ready to come back to the body, because the body is resting, the body is sleeping, you're in a sleeping state, right? So sometimes your spirit may not have come back from wherever it was roaming from sometimes, and sometimes your eyes may be awake and you're trying to kind of like push or move your body, but there's no soul in the body. If that makes sense. There's no spirit in the body. So the moment that your spirit comes back, then it's going to be in regards to waiting for your spirit to come back to the body, so that way you can actually move around and do whatever it is that you do again, okay? But if there's no spirit, if there's no soul, there's no body. That makes sense? So I think you're missing the point here. So Letitia says, why would anyone let someone confuse them? I don't think that's what I was referring to. But let me reiterate what I was saying because I want to make sure everybody's understanding where I'm coming from. So again, the title is called They're Confused That They Overthrown Themselves. Okay. The etymology of the word confused means to overthrow, ruin, disorder, or overthrow, ruin, disorder, or confusion. Okay. Some people are not aware that other people may try to confuse them. Again, you got to remember that everybody has many different walks of life, and everyone may not have had the, we'll say, proper edification or proper information to guide them through very troubled waters. This is where you came in here, okay? Even though despite that they attempted to try to confuse you here, it didn't really work, because the more they tried to confuse you, they became more confused in the things that they were trying to confuse you with, if that makes sense. And the way they became very confused here is because I'm going down to overthrow, which is the etymology of this word here, to knock down, throw down, to cast down from power, defeat, destruction, downfall, action of overthrowing. So this person here realizes that you have some form of a like great power, just energy to you here, and they were doing everything possible to try to overthrow you from you. But as I mentioned before, if you know who you are, if you're connected to self, it's going to be very hard for anybody, or just a person in general, period, to attempt to overthrow you, because how can someone overthrow you from you if you know who you are? And even if you don't know all of 100% of you, because I don't think all of us would ever get to know 100% of us, because you're always growing or you're always learning on a day-to-day. That makes sense. So I don't feel we all could ever find out everything about us, because we're always evolving and getting better at things and becoming successful at different things. So you know what I mean? But anywho, with that being said here, the way that they spoke about you, more so the way that they gossip about you here, actually bit them in the back, or bit them in the booty here. And the way that it bit them in the booty here, again, is because they were confused by the things that they were trying to do towards you here. So the moment that you were able to find out what they were doing here, they started to do things in a very confused manner. Remember, they're only doing things based on their level of experience, and all they know is confusion. That's all they know. So knowing that they are only aware of confusion, or just play with confusion, or use confusion as a form of a tactic, or whatever the case may be, they're going to give it all they got. And sometimes when you ever like pull a muscle before, you may throw a ball, but you may throw it too harsh. Maybe you throw it wrong to the point where, your arm is aching you, or you may have sprained your arm, or whatever the case may be. Like, that's what's happening here. They thought that they had all of the, I guess, ability, or just whatever here, to just do what they wanted to do towards you here. And it's more so like they threw that ball, or they try to throw a curveball at your life here. And the moment that they did that, it's kind of like they twist themselves up, or they sprained themselves, or they hurt themselves in the process here. So it confused them here as to how it's happening to them and not you here. They're the one that threw the ball. They're the one that threw the screwball. They always try to have some kind of something up their sleeve, but it's always hidden even before they throw it, or after they throw it. They can't win no matter what they try to do. Coming up against someone that haven't done anything towards them, they'll never win. I'm telling you, they'll never win. So how can a narcissistic person overthrow themselves? And I wrote down, well, I'm going to look at this in 5 steps, okay? So the first thing here is that a narcissist can overthrow themselves into destruction by becoming a victim of their own illusions. And that's normally what they do here. They need for you to believe the illusion, so that way the illusions that they believe is real turns into reality. They need some form of an external or outside or external validation from other people to validify and to confirm that what their illusion that they're seeing is true. So if someone's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that with the collective too. You did? Yeah, you did. Man, see, I was told like that, in that kind of way, like that kind of very low murky water type of group. So they become a victim of their own illusions. The first step here is overinflated ego. I just explained that here. Their grandiose self-image becomes their greatest liability, not an asset, a liability. Therefore, going back to the term, they're confused that they overthrown themselves. They don't even realize that they thought that they were walking out here strutting them stuff like they were more so an asset to self. But every time they try to accomplish something, or every time they try to, well, maybe say disempower someone here, things happen in their life where they will automatically blame the person in regards to who they're trying to do the foolish things towards. If that makes sense. So, you know, however way y'all do y'all thing, spirit, God, Jesus, universe, Krishna, Buddha, however y'all do y'all thing, right? Let's say you connected to that bigger body of energy here. And when you connected to the energy or source listen or connected with you, like, you know what, I'll take care of it, basically like karma in that way. So when something happens to them, they automatically assume you had something to do with it, if that makes sense. So they look at you as the reason why they are nothing but a liability versus an asset. To their eyes, they want people to see them as such, as an asset, but they do a lot of things that ends them with a lot of liability. They're basically a walking liability here. That's basically what they are. And they need for you to not only condone, but to accept their liabilities in their life that they're trying to place onto you to create more liabilities, but more so in your life. Absolutely not. Yes, there are many walking liabilities and they're walking assets. It really is. And this is figuratively, could be literally as well too, but take it how it resonates. You don't ever, ever, ever want to be a liability of self. If we're speaking about ourself, our individualistic self, our single self, you don't ever, 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 yeah, I'm going there, ever, ever, ever want to become a liability of self. Absolutely the not. No. And most individuals that do have, most individuals that are considered liabilities, will do a lot of things to, again, overthrow or attempt to overthrow you. Again, the etymology of the word overthrow is to knock down, throw down, power, or to cast down from power, defeat, destruction, downfall, action of overthrowing. So what's very symbolic here for me here is that a part of this definition here is to cast down from power. To cast down from power. The energy that you hold within determines your power. That's going to resonate however that needs to resonate for you. Okay? Whatever you decide to do with your energy, are you going to use it in a good way to succeed, or you want to use it in a negative way to descend yourself? And again, that's however that resonates for each and every one of you guys on here. But to cast down from power here, that tells me that, again, they knew you had some form of power, but they never wanted you to be aware of the power that you had. Hold on, let me block this heifer real quick. Hold on. I'll be right on it. You ain't soliciting nothing on here, heifer. Bye, heifer. Let me see who else. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. I'm Quick Draw McGraw. Hey. All right, so let's see. So overinflated ego. Their grandiose self-image becomes their greatest liability. So as I mentioned, they need other people to prove to them. They need other people to prove to them that they are the best. They can't even prove that within themselves, which is why they need other people to prove to them that they're the best or something that they're not. That makes sense? So they believe they're untouchable, always right, and above consequences. This blinds them to real threats, weak spots, and necessary self-correction. They're blind to themselves because they are the real threat to themselves. They have all of the weak spots that if you're able to seal it a mile away, then you know to stay far clear away from this person. Also, in the necessary self-correction, they don't even have control of self. They're not even aware of self. They don't even know who they are. Hence the reason why they keep needing, they're craving heavy external validation from other people to make their illusions stick. And how do you get another person's illusions to stick, especially if they're doing something in a negative way? Just believe in them. Believe in their delusion of illusions. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, you did. Yeah, I told you. And that's gonna make them feel some type of way in a negative, like I say, a nice nasty way. In that kind of way, they believe their nice nastiness, and they think that is what they need to succeed in life. Um, The next one is compulsive lying and manipulation. They lie so much, even to themselves, that the web becomes too tangled to control. Eventually, the lies contradict, the mask fall, and their credibility implodes. What once worked in their favor now becomes their trap. Somebody got to sneeze. It ain't me. What else I was gonna say? As I mentioned, they're the one that set the trap for themselves. Despite them saying, oh yeah, I set a trap for you, or you gonna be here, or I did this and that, and you ain't never gonna be this, and you ain't gonna never be that. That's BS, child. That's BS. They're just spouting or projecting from how they feel about themselves. Yeah, we know you'll never be, we know that you won't amount to anything. Yes, I'm going there because you have to trigger people with truth, especially if they're projecting their lies or more so their truth onto you. See, their so-called truth of self is hidden within self. And because of the type of truth that you speak, which is so harsh and brash at times here, they can't handle it. So it comes to a point where how they truly feel about themselves is when they start to yell and project onto you. And the moment that people do that, yeah, I know that you don't see yourself in a good way. Yeah, I know this. And just put it right back onto them. It's going to make them tail spin. The thing is, people don't know anything about themselves because other people refuse to tell them about themselves. Yeah, I said it. And I get it too. People love spreading lies, but when that truth come out, oh my God, it's like, how dare you? How dare you? Well, how dare you speak lies? Again, if you don't speak lies, the truth will never be discovered. Why is that so hard? If you don't speak lies, the truth would never be discovered. That is the truth. And people don't realize that because they want their lies to stick as truth. Okay, well, if you want to continuously lie, eventually the truth has to come out. The next one is isolation through sabotage. Narcissists often destroy the very people who supported or protected them. Friends, lovers, even allies become enemies after being discarded, betrayed, or drained. When collapse comes, there's no one left to save them. So now they're feeling isolated through the self-sabotage that they place upon themselves. Again, they overthrown themselves because they thought that lying was the best way, cheating was the best way, manipulation was the best way. All of these negative things, these dark psychological things that they were pushing onto other people, they thought that was what they needed to succeed in life. And they're realizing that no, it's not. Next one is truth exposure. They depend on secrecy and distortion, but once truth starts seeping through, whether through a whistleblower, evidence, or the public, they start to panic. Their rage, paranoia, and erratic behavior accelerates their downfall. So if you start speaking truth, and you're in a safe space, I definitely want to make sure you're in a safe space before you start speaking truth, okay? But if you're in a safe space and you're speaking truth, what is going to happen is that the more that you speak truth, the more you'll get that tick. And it's like it's like a ticking, time apparatus, if you catch my drift. And the more truth that you speak, the more that this apparatus starts to have a countdown, but it's an internal countdown of self in that kind of way. The more truth you speak, the more their rage, paranoia, and erratic behavior accelerates their downfall, because the reason why it accelerates their downfall is because you're far away from them. you're safe away from them. You have the ability, or you feel free to speak, and it's like, well, I can't get near this person, I can't talk to this person, I can't manipulate this person, I can't do anything to make this person be quiet. You know what I mean? It's a power move. That's why when you're in narcissistic connections, or if you're in currently a narcissistic connection here, it is best to get away quietly. Don't say anything, don't make a sound. If they're at work, while they're at work, tip out. Leave your stuff. If all you have is your clothes, and take what you need to take. You can get all that extra stuff again. You ain't worry about that. You worry about your life. That's the most important thing, is your life. Not that, oh, I need my clothes and I need all that. Nah, you could get all, you can get that all that stuff back. Most important thing here is with your life. And if this narcissistic individual is very abusive to the point where they trying to like track you and things of that nature, if that makes sense, you need to start making an exit plan, whether it's to another state, another country, another city, however it resonates. But once you get away from this individual or group of people, however it resonates for you, then you start to feel comfortable speaking up freely. While you're in a safe space here, they're going to be watching you, of course, and that's what you need. You need them to watch you. Okay. Yeah. Just please take in mind. Listen, everything I say not going to resonate. Okay. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. It's already hard enough for me to come on here and try to give insight, and I just kind of feel like it's like a pushback that I don't really need. And again, if everything it don't resonate, if it don't resonate, it don't resonate. I'm just saying. Take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, for the ones that do resonate, yeah, so when you're in a safe space and you feel comfortable and you feel free to speak your mind here, what's going to happen with the narcissistic individual or the group here is that they're really going to start to press you even more. And the reason why they're going to press you even more is because they think that you're by yourself, which you're really not. But if you catch my drift, they think you're by yourself, and they feel like if can y'all hear me on YouTube? Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, good. Anywho, okay, perfect. So when you get away from this person and you start to feel free, they're going to really watch you closely, like you think of like a needle, and you're trying to put the string or the thread to the needle. You need really good eye precision to make sure that you're able to put that thread through the needle hole. That makes sense. And that's how they watch you, with like a fine teeth comb, just watching your every move to see what you're going to say, to see what you're going to do here. And it drives them insane because, again, for whoever resonates, if they don't know where you are, who you're talking to, who you're around, if you're around individuals, whatever the case may be, they just automatically assume you're by yourself. So what's happening here is that it's bringing forth even more self-destruction of self, because they feel like they're running out of time or they're running out of steam. Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to them? I never told you to say da, 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 da. Their number one, their pride is on the line, and then number two, their reputation is also on the line. There are many things that's on the line, and they're trying everything possible to stop you from speaking up here. That makes sense. So once they fail to evolve, which is the last one, failure to evolve, because they resist accountability and self-awareness, they stay stuck in the same toxic patterns. If you sit in a stew of toxicity, what do you think is going to happen over time? You're going to start to break down. You're going to start to erode. You may start to rust. You may start to, you know what I mean? Things are going to start to break down in your life if you're surrounded by but nothing but toxicity. That makes sense? So life keeps shifting, but they don't. What once made them powerful became outdated. They fell behind while still believing that they are ahead. And the ice on the cake here is that destruction doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's losing influence, being abandoned, being exposed, or quietly deteriorating behind closed doors. And that's what's happening here quietly, because they don't know what you got going on. It's like they're losing their mind. And because they don't know what you got going on, they are deteriorating behind closed doors because of you exposing them in regards to what they have done towards you here. So it's their own self-doing or self-undoing here. because of the decision that they decide to make. They refuse to take accountability. They're not going to take accountability because of how deep of the betrayal or how deep of the foolishness they have done towards you. So they feel stuck within their mind again, and that's where you need for them to be stuck in their mind. Yeah, I said it. Because people, oh, you can't be the narcissist, you can't, child, please. There are many ways to do one thing, child, okay? Don't ever let anybody tell you can't do something, because, again, there are many ways to do one thing, and there are many ways to be the narcissist, okay? On the line, I know what I'm talking about. And the first thing they want to scream is victim mentality. Oh, it's the collector's fault. It's the reason why this, and it's the collector's fault. No, it's the collector's fault that they saw you for the filth that you are, karmic, and you're upset because they finally got away to safety. For the ones that were able to get away to safety, it's like you getting away to safety. It's like it turned on an emergency button of like self-destruction. They're going to destroy you, and they're going to destroy themselves to ensure that no one else will be able to be around you. No, you're not dictating my life. I'm sorry. I don't care how upset you are. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care how angry you are. I don't care that you feel like that you can't have control over me. I don't care about any of those things, because none of those things resonate with me, because I'm not going to confirm that energetically. So don't resonate with me, if that makes sense. So I don't care how you feel about me. But what I do care about, and what I do feel really strongly about, is my life and me being in control of my life. And I am the only one, and I mean that with everything in me. I'm going to be the only one that's going to have control over my life. Nobody else. Don't care where you come from. Don't care about your background. Don't care about anything what you got going on. I, collectively, individually, will be in 100% control of self. That's it. That's all. If you can't handle that, I don't know what to tell you. Is that serious? And that's what they weren't expecting from you, or that's what they weren't expecting you to do, is to you more so having control over your life. You can't have control over something you don't know anything about. And again, this is how they wanted to play the game with you. They did not want you to know that they were trying to control you, because if they would just flat out say, "Hey, I'm trying to control you," but like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. It would be a different type of vibe or energy, right? But they know they have to play it smart, again, because of your mentalism, or because the way that you think, maybe the way that you perceive things. You're able to pick things up before they put it down, however way you do your thing. But they could not attack you mentally. They couldn't. They had to attack you emotionally. And that's what these so-called group or individuals here tried to do towards you, and it failed. Because all of y'all think the same. All of y'all the same. It's like, what? Like when I had went to court for my custody case with my kids here, I would listen to my ex-husband, and it would be the same thing that my ex-boyfriend was saying. And also my mother, I don't like calling her my mother, because she's not a mother. That lady or whatever that I guess was raised with, I gotta find a name for her, because she damn sure is not a mother. But y'all catch my drift. And on different scenarios or different cases, they all had the same patternized story. And I just sat there and I said, I ain't say nothing. I just said, I said, something's not right here. Something's off. The toxic mother has the same worn out predatory pattern story. The ex-husband and the ex as well. And that's when I started going deeper and deeper and deeper. And I said, well, how will this one know this one when they never, and that's how I started to go. And I was like, yeah. They thought they were playing it safe. See, again, when people are truly proud of their guilt, because some people will wear their guilt as a badge of honor in this way. And they do that in this way in regards to, they want you to know that they have done something either to you or to someone else. So they're always going to drop subtleties or subtle messages or gems or, things in regards to either what they're doing towards you or what they're doing towards other people. But they're hoping that you don't catch it. This is where the jokes come in, the passive aggressive jokes. And if you don't catch it, they'll continue. But if you catch it, you be like, yo, that's not cool. Why would you say something like that? Oh, I was just joking. Oh, you too harsh. Oh, you need to lighten up. Oh, I was just playing with you. That wasn't a game. It wasn't a game. Yeah, they were playing games, but that's not something to play with. Again, most people have games, mental games, emotional games, psychological games, verbal games, physical games. Most people use games because they feel that's what is needed for them to get by or to do things or cause harm or to cause shame or to cause numbness onto other people. Shame, external influence, and numb. They want you to be externally influenced by them, to be in the position where they bring shame onto you, to more so where they actually make you numb to the point where you don't have control of self. If that makes sense. Because if a person has went through some form of a, let's say, sensory overload of emotional abuse in that kind of way, to the point where when they're trying to do something towards you, now you're in a space where you're completely numb. It's just like, okay, whatever. And you feel like you don't have any control. So when you if you ever got to that critical point in the process, or an experience where you went through here, they feel like that's where you have completely broken down there, and this is where they feel like that they have complete control over you and they can do whatever it is that they want to do, because they need for you to be numb. Not up here. You ain't numb up here. You're intelligent up here, but they can't get through here, so they got to get through here. They got to emotionally F you. That makes sense? They need you to be dependent on that. We have desperate. Someone's name is Sue Ann. Somebody just purchased a sweater, maybe a cardigan sweater. Maybe you got it on sale. We are in summertime. Now is the best time to get your winter stuff. Yep, when summer hits, get all your winter stuff on sale, your fall and winter stuff. And when winter hits, get all your summer stuff on sale. Shoot, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. All right, what else, Spirit? We have reckless and we have self-sabotage. Okay. So the more they become desperate, the more they become reckless, and the more they self-sabotage themselves. It really is, yeah, it's really direct. Really straight. A straight and arrow, I guess that's the term, is to the point here. Because they can't stop you from speaking up, they have no control over you. They can't call you, you block them, or you change your number. You move, they don't know where you live. They don't even know, they don't know anything. They don't know anything of what's going on here. So it puts them in a desperate situation where they become very reckless, where they're now getting other people. Did you hear from such and such? No, I didn't hear from such and such. Oh, well, such and such. And then this is where the elaborate lies come in, because they got to make themselves look good because of what you know about them. The end goal for a narcissistic individual, if they're ever pushed to that limit, is to actually, and I have to say it, is to cause some form of a pre-transition, a permanent pre-transition in regards to you and themselves. This is where they become very reckless. Reckless to the point where they no longer have control over themselves and they self-sabotage. They're frantic. Like I said, they're in emergency mode. When, let's say you had a really bad storm and the storm knocks off the lights for like a couple days or so, don't even know who you are, but okay. You're okay. I'm gonna keep it nice. I'm gonna keep it nice today. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, I ain't got time, child. Okay, so with the reckless and self-sabotage here, um, when they get the people or they get a group of people to come against you here, what happens is when you're again nowhere around, they don't know what you're doing, they don't have anything in regards to you here. Other people that they have called upon to kind of come around to do foolish things towards you here, they see themselves sabotage because of the recklessness that they're showing in regards to trying to get you to stop talking, stop speaking out, stop being in control of self. And that's the true, yeah. That's the true affliction that they put on self. It's like they see a ghost or they see a ghost when when you're speaking the truth. Yeah, the truth is like that. It's like a ghost. Something that you may never seen before, something that you're not expecting. That makes sense? It's like, boo. You're like, ah! Boo. That kind of way. Oh, God. Red flag. Yeah, their recklessness of their self-sabotage becomes a huge red flag to the other people, the group of people that they come or try to get to come around you to say, hey, the collective, and the collective, they were like, yo, what's wrong with you? Oh, but the collective talking about me, and the collective minding their business. Thank you. The collective minding their business, the collective going on with their life. You're lottie-dying through life. You're laughing. You feel exuberance. You feel very good about yourself. And if you don't, we're going to put you there like you are, okay? We're going to sprinkle that good stuff on you, all right? You're feeling successful. You're waking up. You feel like $1,000,000, mind, body, and soul. Like you're just doing the darn thing, if that makes sense. And people seeing them crashing out literally and figuratively with the red flag. Mayday, mayday, narcissistic person going down. Mayday, mayday. Now they're in a critical state here, but now they're wanting to feel unseen. But how can they feel unseen when they're the one that's desperately trying to save face by becoming reckless of self? Because that's exactly what happens here. They're the one that's foaming at the mouth. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Beep, boop. Listen, this is a southbound train to southbound express train to Carmicville. Stand clear of the closing doors. With no seats in it. Just throw them right in there. Throw them right on the train with no seats. And every time that the train just keeps speeding up, just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And then you just put them in there for free. All aboard, Karmic. Oh, man. Oh, good. Look. Dwell on darkness, child. That's what they are aligned to, yes. Mm-hmm. They are aligned to dwelling on darkness. Hey, we, like I said, including myself, we all have the choice to live whatever life we want to live. Don't say, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You had a choice to sit here and listen. You had a choice to sit and click here to listen to what I have to say. You have a choice in whatever it is that you want to do with your life. Yes, you do. Could it be hard? Oh, absolutely, it could be hard. Could it be easy? Yeah, but it depends on how hard you go in order for you to make it easy or to become easy. That's up to you. You have to learn how to master self in some way, shape, or form, however that resonates for you. Again, it could be maybe the way that you speak, you want to master self. Maybe the way you exercise, maybe eating better. I don't know. Maybe you want to learn more. Maybe you want to go back to school. Whatever it is, you must be a master of self. That is foremost. Always going to be priority. Always. And a person who has not mastered self can recognize a person who has mastered self, and they're going to try their luck to see just how much you were able to master self again, which is very wide, which is why, again, I promote and also, what's the word? I really strive for you guys to do your shadow work, because the more you master yourself, that is not going to work. Remember, they do things with a one-track mind. It's the same outdated patternized topic, regurgitation of BS, malarkey, foolishness, tomfoolery. It's just foolish things. And it's the same thing over and over and over. You don't have anything else to say? No, that's why you this, that's why I had. Okay, all right. Is there anything else that you can say or you need to say? It's the same. And that's when I realized, when the toxic mother was doing it, the ex-husband and the ex-lover, I was like, oh, okay. Birds of a CUNT flock together. Because they're not a CULT. They're a CUNT is what they are. Call them what they are. They're a CUNT. Thank you. Hey, Sophia, how you doing? So, and this was very necessary. Oh yeah, that was necessary. It had to end that way. But they ended it that way. You merely just stepped away. You stepped away with the unspoken truth. Now do you understand your power in regards to why I say the truth is so powerful? But sometimes you need to get to safety, or some instances here you need to do it in a safe way, in a safe space, so that way when it's time to speak the truth, there ain't gonna be no interruptions or distractions. You can only control what happens around you, within you and around you. You can't control other people, but if that person that you can't control is acting very erratic around you, well, you can control yourself, right? Make an exit plan. Sometimes you, like, again, you don't have to say anything. Make an exit plan. Okay, no problem. Okay, yeah, yep. Like, I'll give an example of me. My ex-boyfriend was just yep. I call him brass teeth. That's brass teeth, right? He will always love to bait me into arguments, and I don't like to argue with you. I just don't. I just feel it just doesn't make sense. But if I feel you coming at me a certain way, then I may bite back and hurt your feelings. That's just me. That's my Scorpio. But anywho, when I realized that he was trying to bait me into thing, and he was a Scorpio as well, I realized, I was like, oh, okay, you trying to play this little nasty little game. So I never gave him what he was looking for. So he will always just say, excuse me, like that. And I'm like, excuse you, did you hear what I had to say? Yeah, I heard it. You don't have anything to say? I said, no, it don't make sense. And that would burn him up. The emotional intelligence, I believe, is actually what saved my life. My emotional intelligence. Just letting him talk. Just letting him say whatever he wanted to say. And he said some real foul stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I had to learn to listen. Going back to that word silence and listen, it's the same word or the same letters in the word. And once I became silent, I learned to listen. And when I attempt to listen to many things, he would do anything possible to distract me from listening to myself or listening to my spirit. So if that makes sense. So with you stepping away, going back collectively, generally speaking here, stepping away with the unspoken truth that they knew that you had it in the bag because it happened at the right time. Yep, it happened at the right time. Yep, with your gut instinct. Uh-huh. Okay, whatever. People can say whatever they want to say. My whole thing is, if you have proof, I'm gonna listen. If you don't have proof and you just yapping your gums, I'm like, okay, whatever. Where's the proof in what you're saying? Oh well, I gotta go. No, you don't have to do anything, because if you're coming towards me to talk about another person, you need to have factual proof in regards to what you're saying about that person. If that makes sense, and they never do. So it's nothing but hearsay or gossip. Why am I entertaining your gossip or your hearsay when you don't even have concrete proof of evidence in regards to whatever, however? Someone name is Dee or Deidre. Dentist, or you mean need to go to the dentist? We have bad attitude. Yep, and they have a bad attitude because you ain't responding to them. You're not reacting to what they're trying to do. And it's like, what am I reacting for? Because the more you don't react, the more protected you become. It's crazy that they're projecting and pushing all that onto you, but you're the one that's protected. I don't get it. These, Lord, child. The more they spewed onto you, the more they project onto you, the more you were protected. That's the truth, because again, you're just yelling and screaming, sound like they, whatever. And it didn't work out in the way that they anticipate, because the more they project, it just bounced right back onto them. And it bounced back onto them in regards to them crashing out. So it's like, you ain't, and you ain't. And all those you ain'ts are being pushed right back onto them. And you're feeling the you ain't because you ain't responding to it. And it's like, how dare you say something to me? You're supposed to, like that. That kind of way. You were like, yo. So that's the protection. The silence is your protection. That's the T. The silence is your protection, because you break through their fantasy with silence. You're not confirming anything. You're not, oh, and this is why you're this. It's not true, so you don't have to confirm. It doesn't resonate. That makes sense? It's not on your vibrational level, right? And that's why they say you're this. And they said this about you too. And you'll never, and you'll this, and you're that. And you make me so angry. You don't ever want to talk to me. You don't ever, and that's just dumb. You be like, they can't stand it. Again, they need you to validate their fantasy, not their reality. It's not a reality yet. It's only a reality once you confirm the fantasy that they want to turn into a reality. Remember, the fantasy starts with you. So if you're not partaking in the fantasy that they want to turn into a reality, it's not going to work. It will never come true. They need you to play in their story. They need you to be the villain in their story. And if you're not giving that to them, what's wrong with you? Oh, you this. Oh, you that. They need that expression or that, to get from you. And it's like, what's wrong with you? You always this. You always that. Now everything coming to the surface, because a pond is very shallow. And that's what they are. They're very shallow. Oh, no, what am I going to do? So, somebody's going to South America, or you could be from South America, or someone could be going to Brazil. But anyway, we have the body here. So this is when the body starts to break down. This is when the body starts to break down. The mind starts to break down. You ain't paying them attention. They calling you. Oh, and they calling you. They're calling you. They're gaslighting you. They're emailing you. They're texting you from, oh, no. Oh, they are pushing it to the limit. And while they keep pushing it to the limit, their body starts to deteriorate. They are not taking care of themselves. They ain't brushing their teeth. They're not eating right. They're not sleeping right. They have to take other things to keep up their energy, to keep up with you. Because again, if you ain't responding to them, it's like, oh, well, wait, so you see me talk to you, but you're not gonna say nothing. You're not gonna, and you just left that trash in the dust, child. So you're moving forward, and they trying to follow you. Now they're tired. Now they're lethargic. Now they have their gateway things that they're getting into. They can't cope with the thought of you moving forward, and you're not there anymore to be a punching bag, wherever the case may be. So now they decide to drink. That might be too light. Then they start to do deeper, darker gateway paraphernalia. And it just keeps darker and darker and darker and darker. Some people may use their body in a very negative way. They may try to go and be intimate with many partners as much as they can. They're doing all of this because they're lashing out in regards to what they no longer have access to, which is you, which makes them rebel. It's going to make them rebel every time. Every time. To the point where not only do you either hear about their self-sabotage, but you may actually see their self-sabotage, and the audience of the dumb CUNTs that will also follow them as well too, they will also see this person fall to their demise. It is what it is. That is the truth. If you can't handle the truth, stop telling lies. Let me say that 2 more times. If you cannot handle if you can't handle the truth, stop telling flipping lies. 1 more time. If you cannot handle speaking lies or speaking truth, if you cannot handle the lies that you speak, shit, I lost that. Oh, you catch my drift. If you can't handle the truth, stop speaking lies. Okay? Can't handle the truth, stop speaking lies. It's that simple. I can't handle it. I can't handle your truth. Well, then stop speaking lies, heifer. And you gonna be A-okay. That's up to you. Imagine they want you to stop living life because you speak truth. That'd be a negative, ninja. Okay, that'd be a big fat negative, ninja. What they talking about here? We have the doll. They're acting real childish here. You know, they have reverted back to a very infantile or childish state here. And that's what's being brought up. It was in the dark, but it's being brought up to the surface here. And it needs to be. Yes, it needs to be. And this was fated to happen. It sure was. Absolutely. It was fated to happen. Oh, well. You can't feel sorry for somebody that won't even help you halfway. They won't even help you 1/4 of the way, 1/3 of the way, 1/8 of the way, 1/16, 1/30. They won't even help you. Not even. So you can't feel bad. I'm sorry, but not. You can't feel bad. It is what it is. Again, if they would have never told lies, the truth would have never been exposed. Way truth is exposed or seen or discovered is through lies, because the truth is always wrapped up in someone's foolish lies. That's how they get ahead. Oh, you telling the truth. Well, I'm going to take your truth away from you. They try to silence you. They try to control you. They try to make you submissive. They try to do a lot of things to where you can't get ahead of them. They need to be ahead of you so they can control you. You could be ahead, you could be on the side, you could be on the back. You're not going to control me. That's what it is. It is what it is. I don't care who like it or don't. It is what it is. It's just, again, it doesn't make sense. How can they try to control you when they don't have control of themselves? So what exactly are they trying to control if they don't have it themselves? That's what I'm asking. I want to control you with what? Like, let's be real. Let's really be for real. They want you to trust them. They want you to trust them. And I'll give you an example. When you're having a conversation and you know in your gut and your spirit is telling you to move forward or do something a little bit differently, and they'll try to kind of pressure you into doing something that you know you don't want. With the trust here, come on, man. Man, you a goodie. Why you like a goodie too sure? Man, you don't never want to do nothing, man. You always doing the same old boring thing. Man, you ain't like that. That kind of way. They need for you to trust them into them having control of you. That's a form of control, right? Through conversation where they're trying to manipulate. Manipulate is a tool or apparatus or a resource that people use to control. And this person was trying to control you in that way. Yeah, listen, Arkasha and Jessica says, I like boring. I love boring too, child. I love it, okay? But with the trust here, they needed for you to trust them that they had, it was like an unsubtled or a subtled trust. It was like an invisible trust, or more so of invisible control that they wanted you to give to them in regards to you. Why do you need another person to control you? Ask yourself that question. Why does another person have to control you? For what reason? Specifically when they can't do it themselves. So if they have no control of self, they're in a chaotic space, and they bring you into their space where they have no control of self, don't you think you'll be exhibiting that as well too? Eventually? Yeah, now they're regretting it, as they should. You know, a lot of adversity. That they are regretting. Isn't source silent? When you're connecting with source, is source loud or is source silent for you? Regret, adversity, and grief. Someone's name is Grace. Someone's name is Charlie. Then regret, grief, and adversity. It's like a rag doll. Regret starts with R, adversity starts with A, and grief starts with G. They're like a rag doll of regret, adversity, and grief. And they're not growing at all. And they don't know what to do. They worried out their mind because they failed. Oh well, they failed. They failed to stop you. They failed to harm you. They failed to destroy you. That is a potential of what could happen if you don't have control of self. And it's very important to ensure that you have 100% control of yourself, especially in dangerous times or dangerous waters that individuals love to put other people in. Remember, they're playing a head game with you. Is their head game loud or is it silent? Sometimes you might not be aware in regards to what they're doing is because they're trying to come off as silent. Do they play the games loud with you or do they play a silent game with you? Look at it from a different perspective. How do they operate when they are around you? What are the things that they do for you to classify or for you to identify that they're trying to play a head game with you? Become silent to listen. Become silent to listen. One more time. Become very silent to listen. The more you listen, the more you're going to see. That makes sense. The more you listen, the more you'll see. They can't see anything. And whatever that they're listening to is not the right thing to be listening to, because that thing, whatever they're listening to here, got them in failure and depression. They're the ones that's depressed. They're not going to tell you that they're going to try to do something towards you. They always sneak up on you. Okay. Two can play that game. Oh, you playing a mind game with me? Oh, okay. No problem. A mind game? Okay. Well, let's play. Now they stuck. Not you, them. They don't know what you're thinking in your mind. That's the beauty of, that's the idea of it. They're trying to figure out what you got going on in your mind. But if you ain't saying nothing and you staying silent, guess who becomes stuck? Is it you or is it them? Guess who self-destruct? Is it you or is it them? Again, they don't make sense. The way they do things, the way they speak, the way that they patternize things, everything that they try to do, it does not make sense. This is why they needed the extra help illegally of spell work for whoever resonates. Not gonna resonate for everybody, but for the ones, some of them was doing candle work on you here to financially destroy you. Again, they thought that if they financially destroy you, it would have emotionally destroyed you. And yes, we may all like money or love money, however it resonates. And you could love money in a very positive way. You ain't got to be all nasty to do things to get money. You don't have to do that. You could be a very positive person with a very healthy mindset that can emotionally regulate themselves, and you can make a lot of money. So I don't want to hear about, oh, you got, no, you don't. You do not. But anywho, they thought that you were going to suffer in silence. It could be a sibling here, a toxic one at that. I mean, damn. Okay. So it could be a sibling here that was very toxic. Take it how it resonates. That wanted you to suffer in silence because you were going through financial failure here. And for some of you guys, you may have went through financial failure, but you didn't hit rock bottom. As I mentioned before, you may have hit rock bottom, but rock bottom did not hit you. And there's a big difference in that. Now for them, they've hit rock bottom. Not only have they hit rock bottom, they're also, rock bottom has hit them as well too, from what they were doing towards you. How in the hell you going to be playing with Toy Story candles, dollar store candles, Mickey and Minnie Mouse candles, and come up against someone like you, the collective? Make this make sense. A scary bully who don't know anything about spirituality, a scary bully that don't even know how to protect themselves, a scary bully that don't even know how to cloak themselves, a scary bully that need a whole group of CUNTs to come up against you to do their foolish Toy Story candles. Child, please. They don't even know what they're doing, clearly. What it say? It say too good to be true. And say too good to be true. Oh my God. Oh my God. Emotionally exhausted is what they are. Not you, them. Child, I know they hate me. I don't care. We got secrets here. They're emotionally exhausted, but that's the secret. It's not a secret. We don't care, heifer. Karmic. Oh, karmic. We don't give a flying EFGHIJKLMNOP. Karmic. We don't care. We don't care if you're emotionally exhausted. There's nothing that you have to hide. You don't have to hide it. Okay, like I said intuitively, if you can tap in, you can tap in and you know what's up. Okay, all right now. They can't hide nothing. You can't hide anything if you don't have control of self. It's very important to have that. An example would be, a person outside doing reckless things or whatever the case may be. They're bringing attention to themselves by doing that reckless thing. If they wanted to stay underneath the radar, they would kind of play it cool or just kind of chill out and just, kind of blend in. No, they can't do that. They don't know how to do that. All they know is that they need the attention on them, and they're willing to do anything possible to ensure that they have the attention on them. Okay, all attention is not good attention. I don't want that. No. No, you can keep that. You can keep your attention. I don't want it. No. We have Gemini here with shocking message. You could be the Gemini going through this, or they were a Gemini that put you through this, however it resonates. Or it happened, we're still in Gemini season. Maybe this is playing out now for you. Again, take it how it resonates. They can't hide anything. A reckless person can't hide anything. Hence the reason why they're reckless. What are they hiding? You can't. When something is in a wreck, it's you can't hide it. It's like, oh wow, it's like, wow, that happened. Yeah, you can't hide a wreck. And that could be spun in many different ways. So this wreck, this narcissistic wreck, is unemployed and they're feeling the pain. Again, they try to do everything possible to sequester your finances or to stop you from making money or to stop you from generating income. What? They thought that, oh my God, they thought that would have been like the end all be all. Some of you guys may have struggled for quite some time. And you just learn to go with the flow. And going with the flow, it's like, okay, let's say you're coming up on a creek and that creek opens up to a bigger space like an ocean or a lake. But the creek is very narrow and very small, and at the time you're not aware, but it's just enough water that can actually wiggle its way through to get to the end of the opening. And eventually, as you keep swimming upstream, downstream, whatever, however it is, but you're streaming somewhere and you're just going with the flow, eventually it's going to open up to an even vast or more massive or more, you know what I mean, gigantic opportunity, whatever space or whatever the case may be here. Despite them trying to make your path even smaller, they failed. Even water is a component that can be found anywhere. You ever notice when I use flowers? Because I know I'm gardening. So when you have a water hose, right, and you turn the water on and the water falls onto the ground, the first thing that thing is going to do, especially if you had the water on for like maybe a minute or two, is going to create some form of a stream to ensure that that water can go to wherever it needs to go. You can't hold the water back unless there's some form of a physical thing to hold it back. But if there's nothing to hold it back, that water is going to find a way to get to wherever it needs to get to. And that's you, boo. We have toxic family. Toxic family was against you here. Lack of confidence, family, strong family. You may come from a family of alcoholics. You may come from a family of alcoholics. That was not on your side. They weren't. All they care about was that you weren't receiving anything and they were pretending. That's it. Again, for some, this is why you felt like your life were 10 times harder once you separate, because your life's so hard. Why, like when you first initially separated from them, but you had to trust that process. And the more of the process that you trust, the more that you saw yourself, because you mastered yourself, you trust the process. And in some cases here, to master yourself, you must trust the process. That is a part of becoming masterful in whatever it is you're trying to master. It could be, let's say you're learning how to play the guitar. Thank you. Or you're learning how to play the piano, or you're learning how to paint. If that makes sense, you're going to have to learn how to go with the flow. You're going to mess up along the way. Of course, that's inevitable. But if you keep practicing, being consistent with determination, it's going to pan out or it's going to play out, So, can you tap into a hidden court case? You asking for a private read. You're going to have to book a private read. But yeah, I can. You just going to have to, it's a private read. Look, we have pattern. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was an incorrect pattern that they were using to come up against you here. And they were using that as an example. That was the only example that they had for you. Again, people can only treat you based on the level of experience of life in regards to where they are. Again, if they only know negativity, then that's all they're going to give to you. If they know negativity and positivity, well, then it depends on the person in regards to whatever the stipulation is, because everybody is different, right? But if you only know positivity, despite you going through all the negativity that you went through, but all you really knew was positivity, that makes sense, more so of self. It puts you in a position, or puts you in the forefront once you realize that you had to separate from those individuals. It puts you in the forefront like, you know what? Oh, wow. Dang, I never knew that about myself. Oh, really? Dang, that's crazy. Like that, in that kind of way. So, whatever. They... They're just not smart. They're not. You're not smart. Someone's name is Tawanda. Hey, Harold, I'm good. How you doing? We have group here. I still got gnats, so y'all excuse me, okay? All right, so there was someone, it could be a father. We have, oh, wow. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, okay. This is very specific. Take it how it resonates. There was a father here that was a part of a group. A father gave money to someone. We have cash here to keep an eye on you within the window here. Yeah, there was a father, toxic father, teaching someone how to do certain things towards you with ideas, or they filled ideas into this narcissist mind here. And there was also a GUN. I can't put it on TikTok, but it was a GUN, okay? There could have been a father that wanted to physically harm you. Take that how that resonates. There could be a father that don't agree with like your way of doing things, your lifestyle, however that resonates for you. Yeah, that was the plan. So take that how that resonates, okay? For some of you guys, a father may have been talking to an ex-spouse, ex-lover, ex-friend, and they were telling them wrong things about you, but because they know this person is this father figure towards you here, they believed it, and they were going to be very excessively abusive towards you. Yeah. Based on the derivatives or the direction or the instructions given from this father figure, this toxic father figure here, whether you are masculine or a feminine energy, or just whether you're a man or a woman, take it how it resonates. It's like, y'all remember Marvin Gaye? What happened to Marvin Gaye? Marvin Gaye's father actually pre-transitioned him due to Marvin Gaye trying to stick up for his mother. So take that how that resonates. Maybe you stuck up for your mom before and your father figure didn't like that, you know? Take, again, everything not gonna resonate, but just take what resonates, okay? And they may have felt some type of way that you try to step in. Yeah, this father figure carries. Or toxic father figure carries. Yep. They may have actually drew it onto you, you know? Yeah, they despise you. And like I said, this is very specific. This father figure here, very specific, doesn't like women. So they don't like women in charge of themselves. So you may have came from a background or history where they believe men have more, you know, control or so. And this is for whoever resonates, this particular toxic father here, okay? Yeah, over you. So you, again, you could be a man going through this with your father, or you could be a a woman that went through this with your father. So this is why this father figure here thought, or more so, they went really far. Look, it's a father. It's a father, but they went really far in regards to what they were trying to do here. Really far and really hard in regards to what they were trying to do here. Yep, may have pointed at your head. I'm not trying to trigger, but that's what's coming up. They could be from the island as well. Take it how it resonates. Okay. You could have been born on an island. You could have been born at sea or born near a sea. So take that how that resonates. I'm hearing the Red Sea. Maybe you have land in a different country, or you may have land in the United States. Take it how it resonates. You may have had a busted lip from this father. Yeah, you may have to wear like sunglasses or kind of fix up your face when you were younger because of this toxic father that was doing this here. So you had a very harsh upbringing for whoever resonates. Maybe your father could be an air sign, or you could be the air sign, however it resonates. Air sign is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Okay. Streets here. Maybe your father grew up in the streets, however it resonates. Maybe they left home when they were very young and they had to grow up pretty quickly. So 13, 14, 15, maybe they're on their own since then. So they take your success they take your success in a very disrespectful way. It's like they did everything to destroy you and you're still able to get out of it. And yeah, may have attacked you on your feet. May have kicked you in your feet. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep because now it's starting to go deeper into like the type of traumas y'all went to, and I'm not trying to go there. Yeah, so I'm going to end it there with Sagittarius. Cancer. Capricorn. Cancer. Dang, Capricorn. Cancer and Capricorn so far. Sagittarius, very strong. Strong, strong, strong. All right, we got Scorpio. I'm going to do two more. Aquarius, strong air sign. Strong air, strong fire, okay? And Pisces. Okay, so if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for all the donations, the tips, the gifts as well, and also the shares. It's truly appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, thank you so much, Instagram and also Facebook. Thank you for sharing as well. Thank you for the commenting as well, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later. All right, thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you for the gifts, the donations, the shares as well, and the commentary is truly appreciated. Yeah, I will see you on the next one.